Hello, everybody. It's Cindy Greenway here from lawmarketing.com, and we're here today to talk about an important question that you, as an attorney, need to consider when it comes to making more money in your small law firm. I'm here today with RJon Robins. Welcome, RJon.
Hi, Cindy. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, Rajan, I know that over the last week you've had a couple of different workshops where you've posed the same question and that you had some very interesting feedback to that question. And I've heard a little bit of buzz around it because it seemed to cause a little bit of a stir. So tell us about this in relation to how attorneys reacted and what it means to them as far as making more money with their small law firm.
Right. So, yeah, LexisNexis and a number of other great sponsors are sponsoring this really amazing workshop entitled "How to Make More Money with Your Small Law Firm."
Right.
And we're going around the country and doing these workshops, day and a half long, really intensive, action-packed, full of great information workshops entitled "How to Make More Money with Your Small Law Firm." So one of the questions that we pose at the beginning, which is really worth considering, and it's amazing how many people never really stop and think about this question and will go years and years and years of their life. And if you don't stop and think about this question, you could end up going years and years and years of your life in the wrong direction. And the question was, what parts of your life will not be positively affected when your income doubles? What parts of your life will not be positively affected when your income doubles? And you're right. We got some pretty interesting answers. One of the really revealing answers was how many attorneys believe that their life will not be positively affected when their income doubles because they believe that they will have to work twice as hard.
Really? Okay.
And so it's kind of like this. How many courses did you ever take in law school on the business of running a law firm? None.
None.
Okay, so right now you're working your ass off and making, let's just say $250,000 a year gross revenue. Okay, so what part of your life will not be positively affected when we increase the gross revenue to $500,000? And here's the thing that's so interesting. The only way they know how to get to 250 is by sheer sweat, just by working hard. And so they think getting to 500,000 requires more hard work. It's kind of like if you're driving in your car in first gear, and you say, well, you're already redlining it at 40 miles an hour in first gear. What part of your life will not be better when we have you going, 70 miles an hour? And they say, well, my engine will blow up, but they never stop to think about that there are other gears. They can actually change the way their business runs, and then they can double their income without working harder. So here's the thing that's so fascinating and why I love the way you introduced the topic, because you're absolutely right. You got lawyers waking up every day. They're paying people, they're buying ads, they're doing networking, they're doing all the things they're trying to do to grow their business, all the while subconsciously believing that certain parts of their life will be worse when their income doubles. So what parts of my life will not be positively affected when my income doubles? I'll spend less time with my kids, and that will hurt my children. Well, of course, why would anyone do anything to hurt their children, right?
Right.
My income, it'll hurt my marriage, it'll hurt my health, it'll hurt my, whatever. They believe that there's a negative price to pay for doubling their income, and then they wonder why they keep sabotaging or undermining and self-sabotaging and not doing the things that could be done to double the income. And you see lawyers who go their whole lives. I mean, this is really sad. I mean, I know I'm smiling because I'm talking with you, but the truth is, I've gotten very emotional when you meet with a lawyer who, they finally realize this, but they realize it after they've wasted 20, 10, even just 5 years of their life. I mean, to me, if you waste 5 minutes of your life believing that that part of your life will be worse when your income doubles, that's just a waste.
So I'm curious, RJon, during that presentation, with having that kind of feedback and feeling that that frustration, that almost like, fear in attorneys, what would you say to an attorney that is feeling that right now, that is thinking, what, nothing's going to change, it just means double the work or more time or more effort or more money? What do you say to that?
I would say get clear. I would say go back and reread and restudy the case we all studied in law school in torts, Byrne versus Bodle, which was the case of the barrel that fell out of the barn and hit the guy in the head, and the plaintiff sued the defense, the warehouse, for negligence, and the defense said you have to prove negligence, and the court said bullshit. Barrels don't just roll out of barns by themselves, do they? No, if a barrel rolls out of a barn, there's a reason for that. Causes lead to effects. Effects do not lead to causes,
Causes. Mm-hmm.
right? And if the only cause that a lawyer knows that leads to revenue in their law firm is sheer hard work, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be time to take inventory of what you've actually ever studied about the business of a law firm. And when you come to the same conclusion that I did when I was struggling with my own law firm years ago, which is I learned nothing in law school. In fact, it would be good if I learned nothing in law school. What I learned in law school was a whole bunch of self-defeating, incorrect, backwards thinking
Mm-hmm.
about what it takes to make a law firm profitable.
Profitable.
Um, but it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
Your car has second, third, fourth, and get this, even fifth gear
Fifth
and
gear.
cruise control, right? You can cruise at 80 miles an hour comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you can do this because there's thousands of solo lawyers all over the country with $500,000 and $1 million practices who are not working their ass off. They're not working harder to have a law firm that does $500,000 or $1 million. In fact, they're working less.
Right.
It's better.
Good. Good, RJon. I hope that attorneys will actually sit back and think about that, because you're right. I speak with attorneys every day who are, in fear of that as well, in fear of investing in the marketing and how is it really going to benefit them. So thanks again for that tip, and I look forward to hearing some more about the experiences people are having at your How to Make Money tour. So we'll
Hope
be in touch.
springs eternal. We can always hope they'll pay attention.
All right. Thanks so much, RJon. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks.